Not all affairs are created equal, but all affairs do erode the trust in a relationship. They are a crisis for any couple to deal with, go through, and if they are going to try to make amends, it's oftentimes extremely difficult. And for the most part, a fair number of them lead to divorce. There's one type of affair, though, I want to go through because this one is not as calculated of a choice. It's not as damaging to the relationship if the couple is able to understand why and take it apart. I want to talk about that because a fair number of my clients struggle with this one. The experts call it a cry for help affair. And basically, the couple understands there's a problem in the relationship, and they understand that there's a problem for a long time. And I think this awareness helps them both take part in the solution or the resolution of what happened. When I talk about a cry for help affair, one of the spouses will ignore the problems in the relationship. And so what usually happens is the partner who is left feeling like, okay, but we have to talk about it, we have to talk about it. When their partner ignores it, they end up feeling alone, isolated, unworthy, and this is the partner then that usually goes into the actions of being so lonely that they're basically fragile. They're more suspect to a flirting friend or somebody who has a plan, who wants to have an affair. They're easily seduced and sucked into it. And like the accidental affair, these affairs can be either emotional, sexual, or both. I also want you to understand that the unfaithful partner in this marriage is not covering their tracks. In fact, they're kind of hoping that their partner will find them and figure it out. They basically love their partner and they want to work it out, but they feel ignored by their partner or overlooked. And so because of that loneliness, they're so fragile for companionship that the most likely source of an affair is going to start out with an emotional affair with these people. In this type of affair, identifying a trigger, like was there a death, was there a job loss, was there a pregnancy, or something happened in the relationship before the cheating began. Because usually, let's say there was a death of someone significant in the relationship, both partners should turn together and grieve together. In some unhealthy patterns, they don't. They each go off to their own corner. They grieve on their own. And if you're a partner that denies everything, you're just going to try to sweep it under the rug, where the other partner will have a gaping wound. They'll need to process that. They'll need to talk to that. And if the partner isn't available to talk to them, they'll try to deal with it on their own. And oftentimes that's being open to someone else who doesn't have their best interests at heart or is lonely too and looking for companionship. And it's a perfect storm starting up, especially if this is an opposite sex friend. These are not the type of people you look at that they would typically be unfaithful, because they are committed to their marriage. And that's why this affair, this type of affair, is just so out of character for them. So if you find yourself with a partner who indeed did do this, did have an affair, no matter what type, you can still salvage this marriage. The first thing you have to do is you have to take a hard look at what happened, at the marriage problems. And the sooner the two of you can come together and say, you know what, we've been struggling for a long time, rather than just let the marriage go, let's get to what's underneath this. And if one partner, the partner who was betrayed, says, you know what, I don't like what you did, I am against it. However, I realize what I was doing too. And I think it's important for the sake of the marriage that we work on this together. That would be an extremely emotionally mature response, and the healthiest one, because you can indeed mend a marriage that has been betrayed in this matter. I think once the problem is out in the open, and it will be with the therapist, the couple will have a much easier time coming together. And usually when I work with these kind of marriages, they become closer than they were before the infidelity. Because remember, there was a gaping wound before the infidelity ever started. It just wasn't taken care of. It wasn't being recognized or dealt with on a mature matter that two partners in a healthy relationship need to do. And I think the one caveat in this affair is that the issues do need to be addressed. You can't sweep it under the rug. You can't say, well, I made a problem, I'm just going to deny it, I'm just going to go forward. Then you have two partners in a marriage that are denying what's happening, and it's only going to fester, and eventually it will kill your marriage. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.